Welcome to Shore Perspectives, a community feature of WESR Radio, highlighting the spirit of the shore from those who call it home.
Christopher Phillips, born and raised Parksley. I reside in Greenbush.
Heather Phillips, born and raised in Melfa and reside in Greenbush. So, Chances of Rescue, about 4 years ago, I was out back splitting firewood, and all the combines around us stopped. They all just stopped one day, and I see all the farmers out walking fields, scouring fields, and I see all the combines start back up, and I go about my day never thinking nothing about it. And about an hour later, this tiny little white dog, puppy, he was about maybe 4 weeks old when we got him. He walks about 10 feet from me and falls right out. So I hide him from the kids. I'm like, oh, they're going to see a puppy, and they're going to want to keep it. And we have a very big dog. She's 10 now, so she would have been about 6 when he came around. And she's not much on other dogs. She's really big, she's really moody, but she loved him almost from day one, which I tried to make. I was like, oh, she's not going to let him stay. That was my excuse. About 3 weeks later, we got him healthy. And I said, okay, we're going to find him a home. When the time came, we could not get rid of him. Then he started doing what puppies do and tearing stuff up. He tore up everything. He lived up to his name. He tore up our kitchen floor.
Second chance.
He got hit by a car.
Third chance.
The vet said there was nothing we could do when he got hit by the car, and I ended up coming home and shaving his head and duct taping his head together. We treated it every day, and somehow he's got nothing but a scar across the top of his head, and he never did like roads after that. He's done a million things to leave an imprint in our life. He does it daily, weekly, monthly. You will look back and you'll say, you remember when? They dress him up in their clothes. He can be hats, glasses, sweatshirts, he's just our kid. He's our 4-year-old kid. It would have been the night of the 1st.
Yeah, no, I woke up and
didn't think nothing of it.
Didn't think anything of it, and went to work as normal.
Because he's always in bed.
And he's, if she's not in school, he's in bed with her till she gets up. Well, I went on to work, and I got a call about 8:30, 8:45 that morning, to say that a friend of ours had found the collar, a mile away from us. So that's when the whole search and rescue began, on knowing that we didn't have our dog from 2 o'clock that same morning to, we're 7 hours in already. So
our first thought was, he's right around here. So we rode around and rode around and rode around, and it just wasn't making any sense. And he doesn't leave. So until I got the collar in my hand, it was really surreal. I was like, this is crazy, because there's no way he would be that far away.
Just as soon as he left, I'm sure he knew he was lost, when it went. And being distraught from his collar, after he shook his collar loose, however long that took, that just disoriented him enough not to be able to get his way back home.
So after day 1, that night, I look on Facebook because I had made a post, and all I said was, white dog missing. I had no idea what it was going to turn into. I look at my phone, and there's 30 messages. And I look at the post, and there was 100 comments. And I was like, honey, people are looking. I had no idea that within 3 days, I would have 1,000 messages. I had people with drones. We had people that were getting ready to bring us sniffing dogs. We were going to try that. We had people that drove from Maryland, were asking for our address so they can case the area, and they have like a way to find dogs. They've been, we had, at one time, one of those nights, I think we added up that there was about 40 people on the road at the same time. It was about 6 o'clock one night, and I said, there's probably 1,000 eyes out right now people were saying, well, I'm here, I'm searching here. They were coming from every direction. They were driving the long way home, not just one night, but over and over and over again. The last day, and that day we had a lot going on. There was a lot going on that day, and two of the guys were at our house when I came home from looking, and they had drones. They went up at our house, and they had run those drones for 7 hours the day before, and they were trying everything. We loaded everything up like we were going camping for 3 days. We didn't know
food, water, every
clothes.
flashlight.
We had a book bag full of our socks that we were going to leave a trail of our socks.
Flashlights, yeah, everything.
Yeah, we had everything. And Bree and I we're going, and I was like, I have a really good feeling about this. So we're like kind of pumped up, and the road was just sand, and we had to keep swerving around, and it was like really gnarly terrain. They had cut trees and stacked trees up really high. And we get all the way to the end, and it was this really pretty cut in. And I was like, we'll turn around up here. But that was the end. And we got to the end, and both of us were like looking at each other like, this is the end of this road, and he's not here. And we got off, and we just walked around because it was really neat looking out there. And I said, take my hand and let's pray. And we prayed out loud. And I didn't pray for us to find him. I prayed for him. I said, Lord, he's not okay out here, and we're not finding him. And if I'm meant to save him, I'm going to need some help. We get back on the four-wheeler, and maybe 35 seconds later, we come around the corner from what was the end. And from maybe 2 football fields away, I see this, what was about this big to me from where I saw him, this little white thing. And I'm like, and I hear her say, that's not him. Because I don't think neither one of us were registering it. So we had taken the long way around, and I cut through, and we were riding that four-wheeler, and before I knew it, I was off of the four-wheeler, that was going that way, and we were running. And right when I had got off the four-wheeler, him and Kaysen come around from the other way. We all got to get there at the same time. We were there within 10 seconds of each other. And what he had to climb through was almost like God just picked him up and was like, you got to be on this side. Because he didn't look like he had walked. It didn't look like he had enough energy to even have climbed what he had to climb. It was probably 12 foot high.
Yeah, trees
piled on top,
where they've cleared
and the gnarliest briars you've ever seen. And he just stood there and waited for us to get to him. And we had him, and we couldn't figure out how we were going to get him back home. So he rode the four-wheeler, and me and Bree stayed, and they went and got the truck. And the farmer knew, because he must have knew, because he was like, just go, and he sent him through. And when we got him into the truck, it was almost like I was shaking more than he was, and he didn't look hurt. He he just looked really tired. And we got him in the whole time he was looking out the truck, and he just looked like, oh, wow, that's where I was. And his little nose and his tail was just going as hard as it could go. And I told Bree, I said, he's literally trying to figure out where he went wrong.
I believe that after he got his collar caught in that fence, that he was so disoriented, and that's what sent him over to 316 in the first place. In the middle of the night, he would have never crossed the road like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
so,
that one,
yep, now we're watching him just take each and every process. The healing process is great, because every time he takes a nap, he wakes up and he's like, oh, I'm home.
Well, just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Without all the help and support, I would have, you'll find him, and then just kept pushing us.
They didn't let us give up.
Yeah. My family was there, everybody in my family. The overwhelming support, it was unreal.
We added it up, and it was 1,700 It was 1,700 people that reached out to us in one way or another. And that's just people that I know of that I could count that shared the post. The people that I don't even know. Every person that read it cried with us like it was, they didn't even know that dog. They don't even know our dog. And they treated him like he lived in their house. Like they treated us like we lived in their house. We've never felt more love. Regardless of what the outcome would have been, we knew we had a million people that were right there for us. It was great.
I'd like to thank each and every one of them. You know, and truly, if they ever need anything, I wouldn't.
We'll be right there for you.
It wouldn't be a question.
For Shore Perspectives and WESR Radio, I'm Kelley Gaskell.
And we would talk to each other, and I would say, is this around here? Is this around here? And there would be times when, thank goodness that we all didn't do it at the same time. He would get down and he would go to put his boots on in the morning, and when he goes to laying down, the dog wasn't there. Didn't want to put his boots on. He'd go into the living room and sit for another 30 minutes. And she didn't want to go to bed. She had no part of wanting to sleep in her bed. Kason had come up with, in his eyes and in his mind, Chance was on vacation. And he's probably with another dog, because a lot of the sightings that we had were with two dogs, a white dog and a different colored dog. And he's on vacation, he's playing, and it was those moments where you're really sad